Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Intensive Treatment, the number one spot for everything Arkham related and Suicide Squad related, because we are going to talk about a giant news dump that came out for Suicide Squad. And yeah, so
It was
so it's been a
certainly,
bit since we've done an episode.
yeah,
Last one we did was about Suicide Squad, but
yeah,
um yeah, so we got a lot of information from the recent state of play that happened regarding gameplay and just overall mechanics and stuff, and even a little bit of post-launch. Not anything specific, but we do have an idea of how this is going to go down,
hmm,
and it's basically Avengers again,
yeah,
which is kind of
yeah,
sad, but so I think the only real thing to do is just kind of go through this piece by piece and yeah, get our thoughts out of the way and
yeah.
just kind of go from there. So, what did you think of the entire? I know you didn't watch the state of play when it was happening, but I know you have seen the footage and stuff. But I just wanted to ask what you think overall about everything that we saw.
Um, so look, I watched it with my brother about, I don't know, I think it might have been like 2 or so hours after it came out. I had forgotten. That's how it shows you how much I cared. I literally forgot, even though I was pretty excited leading up towards it.
Yeah,
But so I throw it on. My brother and I are watching it, and throughout we didn't really talk to each other much, just kind of we were kind of trying to absorb everything we were getting. And man, the second it was over, we both looked at each other, and I said to my brother, I was like, I'm not that excited. And my brother just goes, yeah, me neither. And I'm like, because there was that point, if any of you remember, where Marvel and I were as well kind of in the boat of like, well, until we saw that Kevin was in the game, it was like, we don't really care about this. It doesn't look too special. And then Kevin was announced, and there was some hope. But now my hope kind of dropped again, unfortunately, which I didn't really want. It was just the game for Rocksteady to me feels like a step in the wrong direction. Uh, they got off of three of the most successful superhero games of all time
yeah,
with arguably the most precious superhero. The fan base of Batman is so careful with how Batman is taken in media, particularly the comic side of things. Because like you can talk all day about like, oh, Reeve fans, Nolan fans, Burton fans, but Batman fans of the comic books know what's right and what's wrong. And the Arkham games were pretty doggone like comic book accurate for the most part. And
yeah,
I mean, you have to take that. It's like sacred grounds almost. So Rock City did great with that. But now we're like, where do I start with this? So I think the main downfall is making a multiplayer game. First off, in this context, superhero games should not be multiplayer games. Not like this. Now, I get it. It's the Suicide Squad. It seems like it would be a good idea to make it multiplayer, but man, every superhero game we've had, with the exception of Guardians, which I had not even played yet, but I've seen gameplay of it, and it's miles better than Avengers. Um, every superhero game that's gone that route has been pretty bad. Gotham Knights, Avengers, like two AAA superhero video games that just plummeted because of that.
yeah.
And now it's like, I don't know what to think of this. I'm excited for the story, but I'm not excited as how I'm going to navigate through the story. So, and that's a big part of the game.
Yeah.
What about you
So,
though?
so I'm gonna contest that first quote there, because I know that you're not really big on multiplayer games, especially when it comes to superhero stuff.
It's
I
just
think,
superhero stuff, really. I like
e-
some multiplayer stuff.
I think you can do it if it works for. like say you're doing a team-based game, I think it would make sense
Hmm.
to do a multiplayer type game.
Hmm.
However, I think the way that games have been going recently with the trend of, the anthems, your destinies, whatever's,
Right.
that is not a good bit, like it's not a good model for superhero games.
Right.
Um Something like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance type deal, like I would totally be on board for that. For like if they did, like, say tomorrow they're like, hey, we're making a Fantastic Four game. If they were like, oh, we're gonna do a Ultimate Alliance style game, I'd be totally down for it. But I don't think. I mean, the whole looter shooter stuff, it didn't work for Avengers. It You could make an argument for Suicide Squad, but like I just don't think the whole games as a service business model doesn't work for superhero games, as I've talked about in a video recently. So I'm not bothered by the fact that it's multiplayer, but it's just the it's just kind of everything around it, which
Right.
is what is frustrating me the most. Story, I don't know. I don't. There's nothing about it that excites me as far as like a narrative. Like, so I wanted to ask you about this because they
Hmm.
said right away that this takes place 5 years
Yeah.
after night. That
Why?
already raises
Why does it take
questions.
place so long after night?
I don't know. I
What has
really don't know.
like what is the purpose of going that far into the future? Maybe they'll have an answer. Like wh- it basically leaves the whole Batman is a force of nature kind of thing now. He literally Batman is the night. That just kind of throws it out the window. Because now he's just back and everybody calls him Bruce. And it's
Yeah,
like, all right, like, well, I guess that didn't stick for very long.
yeah. That whole reveal, it, when we talked about Batman showing up and him being played by Kevin, that just raises even more questions now. Like, what's
Yeah. Like it would
the
have been
logistics of this?
what would have been awesome to me is if like Batman had been completely gone, except for that kind of nightmare thing, and nobody knew if it was Batman or not. So what would have been cool is if in that footage that they showed, he's just kind of showing up for the first time,
Yeah,
and I think that would have been way cooler. Because now it's like, okay, Batman's not even Batman anymore; he's just Bruce. Like, all right, real intimidating, buddy.
yeah. He's just still going around beating the crap out of criminals, and everybody's just
Yeah,
like, "Hey, Bruce!" Like,
like arguably, yeah, he could do that still, but I mean, it just doesn't seem like Batman's thing to ever do that.
well, it's just weird to me because it's just like, okay, so he's now going around. So how long has he been doing this? Has he been,
Right,
back like this for 5 years? I mean, there's fucking merchandise in the game of him, like, balloons, and they had that
right,
cardboard cutout. So he's been back for some time, it seems like. But
right.
so I don't
Oh, and
know. Is
Arkham
is nobody
Asylum's
just
reopened now.
intimidated anymore? Like, it's
Right,
just
but
like,
like
what's
Arkham
happening?
Asylum's open again, so like a lot has changed definitely,
Yeah.
which is interesting. I think that's one of the actual exciting things I'm looking forward to is seeing what stuff in the Arkham continuity has changed. Um, we've seen Penguin; he looks like a marshmallow. I hate the design of Penguin in this game, but
Penguin with
that's
like super long hair is
it's
weird.
so strange. Yeah, the only time it works is with Danny DeVito, and I'll die on that hill. But
Yeah.
because that's Danny. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the way this game looks. Granted, it's a multiplayer game, so it's not going to look as refined as an Arkham game, and I wasn't expecting it to. But particularly when you get around to the combat stuff, um, Marvel and I kind of disagreed on like what we think of the combat. I don't think it looks that good, and he thinks it looks fun. I don't think it won't be fun. I just wish it was a little bit more unique than okay, press a button, fly up with your traversal, and then shoot some guns at people, and they're all lasers except for
Yeah.
maybe Deadshot.
Yeah.
Like and I don't know. It's like I enjoy the comic book aspect of it. Like, okay, Captain Boomerang can use the Speed Force to teleport, sort of, which is way funner than using the Justice League satellite system to teleport in short ranges in Gotham Knights with that trash traversal. But like, it, I don't know. I I don't know. I don't even know.
So, okay, I've been thinking about this ever since we saw it, like since I watched the gameplay live. Um, I don't think it's inherently the best, but I think it has a lot of potential to be fun, especially the way that they're zipping around and um it seems like compared to Avengers, like every character is more unique in some
Yeah,
way than they are in Avengers, where it's just like in Avengers, everybody played this the same, no matter if you were the Hulk or whatnot. Like it's everybody felt similar in some way. But this, I think, you definitely get more mileage out of trying different characters out, especially
yeah,
somebody like King Shark or Captain Boomerang,
yeah,
Harley Quinn. Like there's merit to each of them, it seems like. And
yeah,
I don't know. I just like it's stupid the way that they're going around, but it's just like the what we saw the demo with them kind of sliding through, going through like the whole shooting up bad, like it has potential to be fun, but
yeah.
yeah, I don't think it's going to be like groundbreaking or anything. It's like
Yeah,
it's not going to be like Arkham Asylum levels of groundbreaking. It's just going to be there, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's whatever.
yeah. I mean, look, I'm the one thing I'm looking forward to is playing multiplayer with friends and seeing how well it does in the story.
Yeah,
Um, it seems way more inclusive than Gotham Knights did. That was one of Gotham Knights' big problems, is that if you're in somebody else's game, it's still really catered to that person. Whereas this one feels like, regardless of whose game it is, if you're in multiplayer, each character is going to act the way that they would in the normal story. So everyone's interacting with one another. Like, I think that's where this game's going to shine, is character interactions and
yeah.
kind of being fluid with each character, regardless of how many characters you have in your lobby. Um, so I'm excited for that. I don't want to seem like I'm hating on the game. It just seems like the whole multiplayer thing with superhero games now is that multiplayer in a superhero game isn't inherently bad, but it's the whole way of how they're going about it, at least recently with the live service stuff, it just kills my soul. It's like, stop. We don't want it.
Yeah.
The outcry has been really big since Avengers happened to not do it anymore. And well, I mean, they can't switch it up now because they were already deep into production when that stuff happened. But I mean, never again, please.
I
I'm
wonder
just,
if by the time Avengers came out, if it was too knee deep for Rocksteady to just switch it around, because you can see from Gotham Knights, like it had from pre-release stuff anyway, there was an inkling of live service in there, and there still is to some extent, but I feel like
yeah,
they listened to everybody's complaint about Avengers and switched it up at
yeah,
least somewhat. But event
yeah,
like Suicide Squad, nothing has really changed. Like
no,
if you go from the leak we had we had a month ago of the character select, like it's still
yeah,
the same.
yeah,
So I wonder if that was just too late in the game to change around or
right.
whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, my guess is they probably were pretty deep in it. I mean, I tend to think of it like this. Arkham Knight came out in 2015. DLC ended in like January of 2016. And then I'm assuming right after they finished VR, it was like on to Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Or I mean, they could have even started writing it during that. I don't doubt it. At that point,
Or
Cypress Hill was still involved. So
they revealed Suicide Squad a month before Avengers came out. So, um, and they were planning
that's
on putting it
right.
out that next year. So it
Right.
probably was pretty late in the game for them to just change everything completely.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I guess we should kind of get into some other stuff like the Battle Pass, which, uh,
Look, I mean, that's a horrible idea. But you know what? People are gonna buy it. They're still gonna make money. But um, look, why? It's
yeah,
a rock steady game. and it doesn't need to be Fortnite or like Warzone. Just make it a fun multiplayer experience. You don't need a battle pass. You don't need a vape. You
No,
don't need a battle pass. Breathe air or just make a normal multiplayer game.
I would rather buy a $20 like uh like just do the Arkham Knight thing again. Just have a whole list of content coming out for like six months, let's say. So like
Mm-hmm.
DLC packs for uh the squad, maybe a new character. Like I would rather pay for that than pay for individual battle passes.
Right.
So the good thing about it is that it's all just cosmetics. So you don't really like there's no dumb bullshit like Avengers had where it's just like, oh, it's cosmetics, then emotes, then fucking like augments, like just dumb shit like that. But
Yeah.
knowing how this is gonna go, a lot of the cosmetics are probably gonna be garbage anyway. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you don't want it, just don't get it, kind of thing. Um,
yeah.
but the one thing I will say I'm looking forward to is the classic suits. I thought those looked awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Particularly
pretty fun to see.
boomerangs.
Boomerangs is my favorite.
Me too. It's
Along with
tried and true.
Deadshot.
Yeah, Deadshots looks awesome. That that metal plating just I looked at it and I was like, yep, this is Deadshot for me.
Harley's is just the Arkham Knight model, like with
Yeah,
the new face.
yeah,
King Sharks was obviously it was the worst, but it was still kind of funny too.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, I can't wait to play as Boomerang just zipping around in that fucking ridiculous outfit.
yeah. Me too. And it excites me to see what other suits we'll get. Um, maybe we'll get like the Arkham Origin suit or something. I mean, maybe not, but well, maybe because we got Deathstroke in Arkham Knight and it was the same suit or whatever. I don't know. We got the Origins suit. Maybe we'll get the Origins Deadshot. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll get like the Asylum Harley Quinn suit or the City or whatever. Um, but oh right, this is what I wanted to bring up. So they alluded to the fact that we can play as other characters after we beat the game. Um, and I'm curious who this entails. It's like I doubt we'll play as the Justice League. How's that? Because how's it going to work in a game that's catered to these characters?
yeah.
But I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Maybe Lex Luthor or something. That could
Lex
be a potential one.
Luthor, Deathstroke's probably like number one, uh,
Yeah,
most likely.
yeah,
Uh, I don't know. There's not really too like I can't really think of any other characters that would fit the because they all have to play with guns anyway.
right.
So I don't know who somebody said like I would love to see. I saw this on Twitter. So it's like I would love for be like Reverse Flash to be in the game. It's like yeah, no, they're not gonna put him
Yeah,
in
no,
unless they're gonna have him shooting guns and doing all this other stupid shit.
right.
Um I could see somebody like I don't know, maybe like Bronze Tiger or something
Hmm.
as a potential idea,
That
or
would be a
like
cool one.
Rick Flag if they're
Yeah,
bringing in like squad members or something. But um, yeah, I don't know. I got no idea.
yeah. It really is just kind of wait and see.
Yeah, the
But
one thing I was surprised to not see about this whole news dump, there was no pre-order info.
yeah, you're right. I wonder why that is.
I don't
I
know. I
mean,
don't know
the
what they're
game is
saving it
literally,
for.
it's literally. I mean, now it's 2 months away. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Um, and I remember when it got delayed for a year. It's like, oh, this is never going to happen.
Oh, I definitely remember because
Or wait, it
I,
got
I,
delayed
I
twice, didn't it? Got
yeah,
delayed till
well,
2022 and then this year.
yeah,
Is that
because it
wrong or is that right?
was it no, it was supposed to come out in 2022 and then it got pushed another like a year after.
Yeah.
So, uh,
And then Sefton Hill left. He's like, I'm out.
I'm out. Yeah.
And now I wonder why that is. Because do you think it had anything to do with Suicide Squad,
I don't
or was
know.
it just kind of him wanting to venture off? I mean, he started this company with some other people, and it's like one of the most successful video game companies in the world now. So it's interesting that he would leave
I don't know.
after
But
being such an integral part.
part of me wants to say it had to do with it was maybe a little bit of this game. Maybe it was just WB itself.
Yeah, that's
Maybe he
true.
wanted other business ventures, but it's tough to say. Yeah, the my main worry right now, I mean, is mainly just story and live service stuff. Maybe
Right.
a little bit of how progression works,
Yeah.
because it's probably just going to be like mission to mission type thing. It's not going to
Yeah.
be a like a flowing narrative in any sense, most likely. So,
That's what I wish it kind of more was tailored to, though. I mean, I think that's where Rocksteady shines. I mean, you look at the Arkham games, it's always just mission flowing into mission really easily. Um, it feels like everything belongs in the spot it's supposed to be.
yeah,
So I mean I'm not doubting their ability at all. I think they can make a great game, but also if this game is not good, I'm not going to say Rocksteady is bad because there's a lot of people who turn in something bad who have done great things. So,
part, part of me thought you were going to say it's like I'm not like everybody else that just going to boycott the company right away.
but yeah, I mean, a lot of people on Twitter are just really not going to buy this game and all this like Evan, not to name drop, but Evan Filarka. I mean, first off, worst takes ever. I just got to say, he's a sweetheart, but he has the worst takes in the world. Um, he's like, I'm not buying this game because it's going to be like Avengers, but like the man played Avengers all the way through to give a whole review, a full hearted review, but he's not going to play this game to give it a full hearted review based off of one 15-minute clip that only had about 5 minutes of gameplay in it anyway.
Yeah, it was like a weird mix of like there was gameplay in there, and then it would just cut randomly to like some aerial shot of like aliens or whatever.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to, it doesn't look amazing to me right now, but I'm still excited for certain aspects that we just talked about. And I'm going to play it, I think
Yeah,
both of us will.
yeah, I'm definitely buying it day one
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I have faith in Rocksteady, even though it is a live service game. I have faith that they'll make something good out of it, or at least in some ways
Yeah.
it'll be good. Because they haven't really missed, even though we
No, they
talk shit
haven't.
about even though we talk shit about Arkham Knight all the time. Like
Yeah.
that's more just narrative. As far as
Yeah.
gameplay, like it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. One
Graphics
of
are
the,
great. Like,
yeah.
yeah, but
One of the top gameplay games I've ever played is
yeah,
Arkham Knight. So, I mean, they know what they're doing in a lot of aspects. I just hope that
yeah,
them venturing into this new field was not a mistake and that it ends up being really good. I don't hope the downfall in this game. I want it to be great. I want to play a great game.
yeah.
Like, I don't get people that are always preying on the downfall of certain things, particularly certain videos. Like, man, why would they do this? I just want to see it fail. Just see all you fanboys like, you know, cry. I'm like, why? Just shouldn't you hope the game does well? I don't know. Twitter's evil.
I mean, you're in your right to not buy the game. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't care if you
absolutely.
buy it whether or not, but
Yeah, yeah. You don't have to buy it.
if you're instinctively praying for everyone's downfall, then that's just
That's a you problem.
yeah, you got to get that worked on.
Yeah, bro. You got to see a therapist. Um,
um,
but yeah, I'm excited to play it. I'm not like just because I'm concerned. Like I can't wait to boot it up and see what it has in store. You know?
yeah, yeah, same here. Like there are parts that I'm definitely excited about. Oh, holy shit! I'm getting a
You're
phone
good.
call. Hold
You're
on.
good. You're good.
Trying to open the Zoom meeting back up, but it won't let me.
Here, I'll pause it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we know.
Sorry about that.
It's all right, ladies and gentlemen. Things happen and we recover. Hopefully, just like this game will. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, game looks fun, of course, and just because we have concerns doesn't mean it's going to be a bad game. But I'm always going to give it a chance. I gave Gotham Knights a chance and it let me down. But this game is not Gotham Knights,
No,
so you should play it to see if you like it
you won't know
on your
unless
own
you try
terms.
it. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like when people don't play a game because of reviews or don't watch a movie because of reviews. It's like, well, you might have a completely different feeling about it. Everybody's journey through a game or a movie is completely different.
I
It's
mean,
a
you never
very,
know, right?
yeah,
So
it's like a very individual thing. So who knows? You might just be like the most mind expanded person on the planet and see how genius Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumanium is. No, I'm kidding. It's like the greatest film ever made. Just saying. It's goaded.
yeah,
But yeah, so that's Suicide Squad for you. That's the news we have. And as time unravels towards the release day, if there's any news, we'll definitely be talking about it. But it doesn't seem like there's that much that's going to be pushed at. It seems like we know as much as they're going to give us right now. And like we said, the game's releasing in like 2 months at this point. So, which is crazy. But, you know, we'll be there before we know it.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, the only thing I'm hoping for between now and release day is just when pre-order details come up,
Yeah.
because I do want to save a copy and just have
Oh,
it
yeah.
like right away.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
I don't know if this game is if it's good, then it's good. If it's not, then WB now knows that for future reference, just not do this shit.
Yeah.
And
Ever
hopefully all
again.
studios like do that with their superhero games.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Live service only works certain times. And even then, I'm not a big live service game
no,
person.
I'm not either.
So, yeah. But is there anything else you want to add to this amazing conversation?
Um, Assault on Arkham is not canon anymore, and that kind of makes me sad.
Yeah. When was that finalized? When did they finally come out and say it?
I think that was when the first trailer came out. It was just pretty apparent that we're like, oh, it's not like it's probably not related to
Yeah.
probably not related, which is sad because it is a good movie, but we
Yeah. I enjoy Assault on Arkham.
should talk about it like soon.
Have we not talked about it on the podcast
I
before?
don't think we have.
Oh, guys, we got to talk about Assault on Arkham.
Maybe we'll
That
do it
movie.
like right before the game comes out
Yeah,
as
that'd
like
be good.
as a hype video. But
And I'm
uh
thinking maybe if all you guys are down, we could have maybe an Arkham retrospective video up until this point, maybe right before the release of this game,
yeah.
and kind of have speculations as to what we're going to see. I think that would be fun.
Hmm.
But if there's nothing else, I think that's it for the video.
I think so. Yeah.
Would you like to plug whatever you have going on, Mr. Marvel?
Yes. So I am I've been kind of out of it for like the last month or so, but I'm trying to work on videos again. I definitely have a review coming up, hopefully really soon. And
Mm.
I may or may not be alone in that said review, but we'll see what happens. um, but yeah, I've just got a lot on my plate this year that I want to get around to, and it's going to be fun. I think it's going to
Yeah,
be enjoyable. So,
yeah.
yeah, that's
Well,
it for me.
we are all looking forward to your future content. You should go
Yes.
subscribe over to Marvel's channel. I'm going to link both of his channels below, as I always do with this goaded podcast.
Yeah.
Um, So for me, I'm just doing my Last of Us playthrough, finishing part one. We're on part five, I believe we're going to be on next episode. Uh, and that'll be fun. Marvel joined me for about two of the episodes so far. So hopefully he can hop back in whenever the time is right for another one. It's always fun having guests. And Marvel's probably the best guest I can have because he's not AJ or Alter. Uh, um, but other than that, I just released an EP. So if you're interested in original music, then you can check that out. It's all over my Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. But as for anything else, I think that's it for now. Just looking forward to all the movies I get to see this year. There's so many coming out. So that's on my list of things to do. But
Yeah.
that's it for me. So we're going to
Hopefully
call it
we can
quits.
get more hopefully we can get more intensive treatment episodes
Yeah.
uh going because this is fun to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. I enjoyed making intensive treatment. I mean, Marvel and I love Arkham, and I have great fun in just relishing in the fact that I'm an Arkham fan.
Hmm.
So it's fun. But yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you excited for Suicide Squad? Are you really not looking forward to it? Are you going to buy it, or are you going to cash out and say no can do? Let us know what you thought of this 15-minute dump of news that they gave us. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter. Everything's going to be in the link below. And we will see you all in the next intensive treatment. Stay locked up, I think Marvel always says. Is that it? Stay locked up?
Something like that.
There you go. You heard it from him. See y'all.